Hello, in part 4 of the beginner Polygon modeling series, I want to show you about how you can use support loops to sharpen up your models. Now, there are newer methods, guys, which I'll show in future videos, but the method in this video, or the general understanding, can still carry over in many situations, and there are many studios and clients who would prefer this over any other method. And in the previous video, I talked a lot about topology. One of the reasons why we have good topology is to make the support loop method very easy. So for example, if I were to select this and subdivide this and have, let's say, 3 iterations, you notice it goes from being a box to being kind of a sphere, kind of an egg in this situation. How do we change this? Well, we can go ahead and use support loops. When you insert a loop like so, and then you move it, the closer the edges are together, the sharper the object will become. Notice how it looks like here. Then I'll add a new element modifier and I'll move it, let's say, right here. So now I can just simply turn this on and off. Notice the difference between this versus this. If I have multiple of these going here, everywhere there are loops, you guys can see it's getting sharp. So depending on what you want, you can go ahead and modulate this to get the sharpness or smoothness that you want. If you have them everywhere like this, you now have a very sharp box. Of course, you can also add right here. You can also, of course, move this further away or closer to get a desired sharpness. Another way of doing this is to apply a chamfer modifier. So, apply chamfer. We pretty much have this same thing right here. And now, as you can see, when you subdivide it, it goes from this to this. If you guys are enjoying this video, be sure to check out the description where I have links to more advanced courses such as on sci-fi design, futuristic vehicles, furniture, and more comprehensive advanced courses. Alright. So, let's give a more complex example. Let's say, for example, we have a cylinder. Let's increase number of sides. Alright, let's say we insert 2 loops through here. And we go ahead and extrude this out. Make this planar on the y-axis, which by default is this button right here. Alright, and then we subdivide. Let's say we want this to be sharp. Well, we can insert a loop through here, through here, through here, and right here as well. You're now noticing it becomes much sharper. Now, this method seems very easy, but the problem occurs when you want to create sharpness on smooth surfaces. And a lot of bad things happen there. For example, notice right now, it's giving us kind of a strange result right here. It's not quite the sharpness we want, right? Let's say we want this to be more sharp. I mean, it looks fine everywhere else, but not here. But so you think, okay, I'll just add a loop here, and then here, and boom, that's solved, right? But remember what we learned in the previous video, that when the edges are close together, it creates sharpness. So you're not noticing that even though it looks much better here, it has the unfortunate result of having also a sharpness right here, which we don't want because we want this to be a smooth object here. In which case, we can do several things. First thing we can do is try and use weld that together. And let me go ahead and also weld right here. Alright, now I can go ahead and select this and hold Control and click on Remove to remove the vertices and edges. Alright, as you can see, it looks a lot better now. We still have the sharpness, but now we don't have this becoming sharp anymore. So one method is to have this kind of topology, this kind of looping topology, to get this right here. Another method, guys, is that when you first create your cylinder, you go ahead and you have more density. So instead of 32 sides, you go with 64. Now when you add support loops, even if you add loops right here, it won't have as much of a difference because there's more density here. I mean, maybe it's having a small tiny difference here, but not as much as the previous result, because there's just so many more faces setting up this curvature. Another thing, guys, is you can simply use the third method is to use the existing loops to sharpen it up. So for example, instead of having to go in here and create additional loops, I can simply select this, turn on the face edge constraints, and move this to the right, and do the same for this. So we can use the existing topology to sharpen it up as well, but you're still noticing some things happening right here. So it doesn't work in all situations. You can also try to do things like perhaps maybe move this a little bit, kind of wiggle this around a little bit to improve it. So that's a third solution that can work in some situations, but it will still have some problems on certain regions and from certain camera angles. All right. Let's go ahead and add like another example. This time, let me just go ahead and do this. All right, let's establish curvature. Let's have symmetry and turbo smooth. And let's add a shell modifier as well. All right. All right, we've got an object like this. Here we're going to go ahead and add those support loops first. Or we can go ahead and let's say inset. And notice the difference that the inset made. All right, let me redo that again. So this is without the inset, this is with the inset. So notice how quick it sharpens that up. Then we'll also perhaps insert some loops through here. All right. So you may think that's sharp enough. If you want additional sharpness, let's say through here, you can either insert this. You can then go into modeling and then use set flow, for example, right here, to have this match the curvature. So right now, guys, it's going to be a little bit sharp here. You notice a little bit of sharpness right here. But if you use set flow, it's going to match the curvature a little bit better. It's going to do this right here. So before and after. And as you can see, it doesn't have that kind of sharpness there anymore. You can also use this existing loop or edge or vertex, then move it here to sharpen it up like so. As you can see, it doesn't have a bad effect here. So you're able to make that a little bit extra sharp like so. I can, for example, select this, use a regularizer script. I can delete that. Notice it's getting a very strange result here. So when you have a situation like this, guys, you do want there to be a loop going around here. See, right now there's no loop because I can't select polygons around there. And I can't select any edges because if I double click on this, this is the loop. So what I would do here is I want to make sure I have something like this. Now we have a loop here, both with edges and polygons. And now we're getting a nice result right there. Alright guys, so that is the basics of using support loops. The next video will show you kind of a newer, more advanced, easier method. Thank you for watching and take care.